The first way of unproductive ways of managing conflict is shifting the blame back on the other person, making it seem like you are the victim. I use this strategy as an example of unproductive ways of managing conflict because one of my former friends continued to shift the blame on other people even when she was in the wrong. This resulted in the loss of our friendship after she kept playing the victim, especially in a relationship. The second way of unproductive ways of managing conflict is physical threat. This means physically threatening and even carrying out hurting a person in order to get them to do whatever they say. An example of this would be a thief running up to a person asking them to give them their money or they will hurt them. The effect of this strategy can lead to harm on the victim. If someone used this tactic on me, I would feel scared and comply with the thief because I feared for my life. This is an unproductive way for the thief to solve his problem of his lack of money because it is hurting someone else instead of finding a different way to earn his money through a job. The third way of unproductive ways of managing conflict is emotional threat. This means threatening a person with words. An example of this would be a boyfriend saying to his girlfriend, "If you can't pull yourself together, I'm going to have to break up with you." The effect of this leads to the girl living up to her boyfriend's expectations for fear that he would break up with her. This is an unproductive way for a boyfriend to solve his issues with his girlfriend because he isn't solving any problem. In fact, he is creating more problems by instilling fear in her. If my boyfriend used this tactic on me, I would probably be scared and break up with him anyways. The fourth way of unproductive ways of managing conflict is bringing up past offenses into a conversation even though it has nothing to do with the issue. An example of this would be a parent and a child fighting about studying for an upcoming test. The parent brings up the child's grades from last year, saying how they were horrible. The child responds and says he was doing better this year and studying more. The parent is still angry because the child isn't living up to the parent's expectations. This is an unproductive way of managing conflict because the parent is only highlighting the child's past failures instead of trying to help the child succeed in a new way of preparing for a test. If this tactic was used on me, I would feel even less motivated to study for the test and my parents would want me to do better on. The fifth way of unproductive ways of managing conflict is competition. An example of this would be siblings fighting over who was the better surfer. In this case, the two siblings would look at the heat scores and try to prove that one of them is better than the other. This leads to strife between the two siblings because everything is now becoming a competition. Instead, they should encourage each other and help each other become better at surfing. If this tactic was used on me, I would get defensive about my skills and it would affect my relationship with that person negatively. The first productive way of managing conflict is listening. Listening is important because it allows for each person to calmly understand the problem between them. It allows for the conflict to be solved much easier. If someone used this tactic on me, I would probably be willing to listen to what they have to say if they are also listening to what I am saying. The second productive way of managing conflict is accommodating. Accommodating is a helpful resource in managing conflict because it allows for two people to come to a middle ground. It might not be exactly what they both wanted, but it allows for them to come to an agreement. If someone used this tactic on me, I would be willing to help them reduce the conflict by finding a way that both suit us. The third productive way of managing conflict is withholding judgment. It is oftentimes easy to quickly judge the other person by simply looking at the situation. Instead, collect all the facts from that person and the conflict and use that knowledge to form your own opinion of the situation. If someone used this tactic on me, I would be willing to listen to their side of the story as well. The fourth productive way of managing conflict is to calm down before talking about the situation. When we just start the conflict, it is easy to get mad and act on our anger in words or physical action. Instead, calm down, assess the conflict with a clear mind, and then proceed talking about the conflict. If I use this tactic in conflict with another person, I think it would say a lot of hurtful words we did not mean towards each other. The fifth productive way to manage conflict is to ask productive questions to get the root problem. This is helpful because it ensures that the conflict is most likely not to occur again. If someone uses tactic on me, it would feel more productive than just talking about our feelings and instead help us find the root of the issue.